So, next we're getting weird with David Tunnicliffe.
Hey.
Of course.
Weirdo.
Now eat that microphone. No leaning back.
So my question is, have you ever seen a faceless animal? Maybe Ali could bring it up for us.
That's a good idea.
I think Nick Leonardis.
So there
Faceless.
it's just come into spring in the northern hemisphere in America.
It's beautiful.
So in a state forest in Connecticut, there was some kind of researchers from the university who I think were interested in toads, right? And then they found this toad walking around that had no face. As you can see, if you're watching, you can see here.
It's like a slideshow, I think.
Okay, well, there is a video of it actually moving. If you can find that, would be good, because it does exist, right?
What?
So, like, it has no eyes, has no mouth, has no tongue.
Super buff.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like hopping into their legs and hopping into trees?
I saw it. I didn't see it. I saw it moving, like not even hopping as much.
The article I read
Yeah.
that you sent suggested that it was doing that.
Yeah,
That's how they
They were
noticed it.
moving
They
around.
didn't pay attention, and then it kept
kinda
noticing that it
moving.
was like jumping into them.
Yeah, because it couldn't see, right?
Yeah.
Can't see
Classic.
anything. It's got no eyes. So, like, my question is, how could that? How does that exist?
I
Right?
don't know.
How can you live without a face? Like, obviously there must be a brain there, right? There has to be some kind of central nervous system to allow
Well, apparently chickens can go around for a little while
headless
after
without
head.
blood. But like,
That's only when you don't cut their neck properly, though, I think. I've looked into this.
yeah,
And apparently the stem of their brain is still there, so that they can still go around.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Look on like the BBC article as opposed to images.
So
or
if you
anything.
cut it too high up on the head,
I'm just getting this for now.
National Geographic.
Because it's only 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's not long.
Well,
But so the theory is, right, so in winter these toads are cold-blooded, so they hibernate, right? So and because in the northern hemisphere, in North America, a lot of places get very cold. So what they do is they burrow down below the frost line. But this is kind
that's
of
what I do.
it's kind of fascinating, right? So they've got cavities in their body, right? And they actually form kind of these ice crystals inside their bodies.
Whoa.
And what that does, it can, slows the heart rate right down.
Ice crystals in their body.
Yeah, essentially. And then, essentially they stop breathing because the heart rate's so slow. There'd be some sort of oxygen coming in, obviously. But then the organs, the major organs, because they have glucose, etc. in them, and other minerals, act like as an antifreeze to stop the main organs from freezing over.
amazing.
And then
That's crazy.
Then it obviously, they thaw out when the weather heats up in spring, and their body heart rate picks up. The ice crystals thaw out. They start breathing again, and they start moving around.
Jeez,
So
that's such a
the
creepy
theory is that
looking thing.
this thing was injured during hibernation, right? So some predators come and bitten its face off, and hasn't eaten all of him. The poor guy.
It's probably Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, classic.
Face
John,
off.
John Travolta.
So is that John Travolta?
I want to take his face off.
But
You sound Italian.
He says it like that. He says it so weird in the movie. He's really high, and he's like, I want to take his face off.
Do you,
so yeah, no, this, and they like they were saying they don't think this thing would live for long because obviously
gotta eat?
it has no face,
Yeah.
can't eat. Obviously, it must be getting some sort of oxygen somehow.
The chicken without a head that lived for like years, they fed with a dripper.
It
Years.
lived for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was like a
legit?
travelling sideshow thing.
Wow.
do technically do we need faces? Like if we just had
If you're missing a face,
a hole, like
yeah,
we could do it, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
If you had a hole for
Like a breathe
breathing
hole?
and
If you
eating.
did breathing, and if it was,
Your brain needs to function the rest of the body, though, doesn't it? Like puppet it.
Yeah, I'm like you got a head.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, still got the
Just
no
brain.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
your face
breathe.
off,
Yeah.
As it were.
How did I not know that?
as it were.
So these are the people who research frogs, right? Or reptiles are called herpetologists.
Ah,
Yeah,
it should be frogologist.
frogologists. So and a fellow herpetologist who's an Australian swimmer.
Ah.
So he's Cole Chalmers. I think he was in the Olympics when he was 16.
Oh,
And
wow.
He was kind
Yeah,
of
I
a guy
know
who
him.
kind of broke onto the scene and did really well.
I thought he did physics.
Does he? I don't know. Well, this is just an interest of his, right? So
Yeah.
they had the Australian Olympic titles. and he won the 100 and the 200 meters for the
Yeah.
Commonwealth Games.
Does he have a face?
He does have a face.
Okay.
I think he'd be about 19, right? So in his hobby, he runs an Instagram account, Adelaide Blue Tongues,
About frogs?
about blue tongues. So this is what
Oh.
he does in his spare time.
A blue tongue isn't a frog, right?
No.
Okay.
No. And
How is this related?
I don't know because he.
He's a frog
But I'm
doctor.
just saying, this is what he came out, and his quote was, "My mind after a race or something like, oh, what are you thinking?" or something like that, and he's like, "My mindset is just lizards at the moment." So this is a young Australian swimmer who is killing it, but owns like 16 lizards, has like all these rare albino blue tongue lizards that can sell for, thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Albino.
And he runs an Instagram account, so give it a follow if you're interested.
Have you
Support
got a
him.
vested interest in this? Where is this
Yeah,
coming
he's
from?
paying me on the
He's
side.
sponsoring the
So
podcast.
there you go. In
We should get a lizard
In
on
other
the podcast.
weird
Another
news,
I
face.
had a lizard trapped. Go on.
Did
This
you
is
kill
a
it?
very random story. No.
Good.
My girlfriend came over and threatened to break up with me if I didn't let it go.
Yeah. Why would you?
It's a lizard. Who cares?
What? That's like what a psychopath would say.
What's wrong with you?
you're mean, Ali.
You're just piling.
In
on.
other weird
You're a
news,
psychopath.
there is a actual survey that looks in the percentage that kids get in from the tooth fairy.
Oh,
So it does a survey every year. The methodology is probably not too strong, but we won't go there.
What is the methodology? Asking your neighbour? Like, what?
So in 2007, they believe that the tooth fairy is the percentage given to kids in America is down 11%.
Shivers.
So what they do is from $4.50 in 2016 to $4.13 on average in
Per tooth?
2017.
What a
Per
joke.
tooth.
oh,
$4.
And this has been running since 1998.
that is
If you had
outrageous.
kids, what would you give them?
20 cents.
What did you,
That's what I got.
I used to get like a
$4
dollar.
Yeah, I
seems
got
quite
a gold
high.
coin usually.
But inflation, right? So what this I think
That's
they
true.
compare this
That's
to
true.
inflation, and then they look at the rate of how much it's gone up or if it's gone down compared to inflation.
That's
And the last
silly.
year it's gone down.
That's silliness. Kids are
That's
happy
true.
with a coin.
I did get one
Yeah, I don't
coin.
think kids know, right? Depends on
No.
what they are.
They're
What do you
just-
think
They're
the
happy
re-
with a coin.
Where's the what's why?
If it's 4.13, that means people are giving notes,
Well, it's
and you should
yeah,
not be getting
$5
notes
note.
for.
Well, if you're a rich
a
kid,
tooth.
right? How often? When's the last tooth you lose?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I had to get mine pulled out.
Yeah,
Eight?
yeah.
Was a
Yeah,
late
I was
seven.
thinking,
Eight?
yeah.
8.
No,
Yeah.
I was like 14.
Like that, $5. I don't know. Back then, $5 to me.
I can
was
see
a lot
why
of
it had to
money,
be pulled
Yeah,
out.
it was always coins for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was.
coins.
I don't think my family didn't do that.
Didn't you?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Okay.
traditions that
I think we did a couple of
do
times.
because they didn't make sense.
Is that Sri Lankan kind
They're
of?
like, oh, it's this Halloween thing again.
Or just
Why are they coming here for candy?
Is there a Sri Lankan version of the Tooth Fairy?
They might be. I don't know. Probably not.
And then finally, my final weird news. It's not weird really, but the reporting of it's weird. So there was a
You like Media Watch?
a survey. Yeah, I am Paul Barry, Media Watch. There was an OECD survey looking at how much housework people do across the world for genders. So it's been reported in the news that Aussie men are second in the world compared to the other countries in the amount of housework they do per day. And they're suggesting 2 hours and 52 minutes.
Per day?
Per
It's a
day?
lot.
or per
But this
week?
is like housework, childcare, multiple things.
Well, they
right?
call
It's
it
not just
all
like
the
physical
unpaid.
cleaning.
They call it all the unpaid labor,
leave.
right?
Yeah, unpaid kind of, not
Labor.
unpaid leave.
As
Work.
usual, I am below average.
Yeah.
2 hours a day.
But I
is
think
a
if you
lot.
have kids and stuff like that, like
True.
it's different.
Yeah,
Like,
how much
from the
total work
time
do you think
they
you've
wake
got going
up,
on?
you're taking care of them,
Half
you're
an
feeding
hour.
them, driving them to
Total.
school.
Per day,
How much do you think your wife does?
an hour.
Okay, so the total is an hour and a half then for your house.
Well, we don't, like... we
Yeah,
don't
no,
do
that makes
much.
sense because you don't have kids.
Or you're cooking, cleaning.
I'd imagine with
cooking's probably
kids
the
it
main
becomes
thing,
like
right?
a lot more
Yeah.
because you've got to look after them. Like how many hours do you have to look after them, take them to school,
Mm.
do their homework with them.
Bloody kids.
If they're not in school yet, you actually have to look after them the whole day.
What
Yeah.
a nightmare. Am I right?
How long
I-
till you guys have?
I don't have
6 months,
kids.
right?
Are you pregnant?
Not me.
Well, not we know.
How many hours do you think you do,
Yeah, definitely not that much.
David?
Maybe an hour.
How much do you
A
reckon?
day?
Sarah, how much do you reckon
Maybe.
Sarah does?
More, probably more.
What
Depends.
What is there to do?
I don't know, just thinking out all the little things you kind of do that would add up, maybe.
Weeding.
Weeding, ironing.
Cooking,
cooking,
cleaning.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
there's not that much to do really.
It was weird though because the angle on this one was
Yeah.
that it was about how good Australians
The
are.
weird
right?
things are saying that Aussie men are, second in the world. How good are we? And that's what gets the plugs on all the on the news sites. That's the clickbait, I guess. But the report actually is really comparing. It was released for International Women's Day, comparing the amount of work that men do compared to women, and
How'd we
across
go?
all countries, women do more.
Yeah,
Um,
and I was like, that makes sense.
in Australia, it's almost like an hour more. Probably
Women do.
Women do.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Was
Well,
the article
our-
not meant to be insulting, or was it meant to be insulting to women to do that on International Women's Day?
Why is that
I think
insulting?
it's just the angle that news sites took.
No, why talk about housekeeping on International
Well,
Women's Day?
it's
Is
saying
what
that
I mean.
they're highlighting that it's there's an equity there. That
It's
it's
a-
not a level playing field.
It's a big part of the problem with women and inequality in the world is that they do a lot of unpaid work. They do a much higher proportion of unpaid work than men do, which
So
means
the-
they don't have time to do anything else.
To me, it's pointing it out though seems kind of like
I
the
guess they
wrong
wanna-
message to put out on International Women's Day.
But wouldn't it be disingenuous to just say, "Yeah, everything's awesome"?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
it's bringing awareness to it, so there can be policy changes, etc., to do something. So the 2016 census said that a week men in Australia do less than 5 hours
What about
of
strong men?
unpaid labour,
Ew.
and then women do 14 hours a week.
Oh.
Does filling up your petrol count as unpaid labour?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh no, shopping and stuff.
Yeah.
That's included.
Shopping?
Yeah, shopping is a part of
No
But
one
I
of the
guess
females is so high.
So yeah, that's all my weird news.
Yeah, wow.
That is weird.
Good. Now,
Women are weird.
Oh wait, also finally, the Pew Research Center has identified that millennials are born from 1981 to 1996.
I am a millennial.
So you would be either 22 or 36 this year.
We
I am a
We are
millennial.
millennials.
We all
that's a
millennials.
huge.
I think a lot of people like to think that we aren't millennials, that we're Generation Y, and then the people below us.
We're like the
I
beginning of
I
it.
thought we were Z.
Well, apparently we're smack bang in the middle then.
I don't think
81 to
Generation
96.
Y and
It seems
Millennial
like
are
some-
interchangeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius on the internet just invents a new one every year.
I could have written
No one
that
agrees
article.
on generation.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
But
I remember
Do
when I was
research.
younger, it was Generation Y because we questioned everything.
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
I thought it was because we came after X.
It's probably a bit of both.
It depends who you talk to. It's the same
Right.
as peanuts. They're bad for you, they're good for you, they give you cancer. What the hell's happening?